Hey, deserving listeners, The Ultimatum, Queer Love on Netflix. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor. Keep in mind that you should not be using YouTube as a replacement for therapy. If you need a therapist, get one. You deserve it. Let's watch.
Wait, am I at the table with all the ones that were given the ultimatum? Oh, no.
Yeah, you are.
Out of here.
This is a setup. This is a setup. I'm out.
Okay,
Did we naturally just gravitate to this table?
So,
that is interesting that they would think about it that way. They say, okay, if I'm the one giving the ultimatum, I would rather be with someone that also gave the ultimatum because those are the people that are very interested. But I could also say doing it another way. It's like if I give the ultimatum, I want to be with someone who doesn't really necessarily want to be with their partner. And so, because if I'm really looking for a potential other, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not good. I feel sick to my stomach, and I have been referring to her as an atomic bomb.
No one knows this. I'm actually an Instagram influencer. I like get paid to do content. Are you serious? Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like an Instagram poet base.
Okay.
I don't trust her. She is a fake person.
Okay, so Lexi is saying that Vanessa is a fake person. Then they edited in the bit about Vanessa saying that she's an influencer, and the way that Vanessa said that was, I suppose, highlighted. And now this other person with Lexi is saying that, yes, 1,000%, Vanessa is fake. Yeah, I don't know. I would, okay, so what's going on with Lexi? So Lexi wants to be with Ray and is hurt that Ray doesn't want to be with Lexi prior to even coming on the show, right? And now is hurt and upset that Ray is connecting with Vanessa, and particularly because it's Vanessa, right? And all that makes sense, but that's this show, right? Now, I don't fault anyone, in previous season included, for saying, look, I need out of this. I can't do this anymore. This is too much. I thought I could handle it. I can't handle it. So, Ray, please be with me, or I'm walking off the show. Now, maybe they have that fine that they are threatening everyone with, who knows. But that did happen in the previous season, and presumably those people weren't sued out of existence. So, I understand if that's where Lexi's coming from, but if Lexi isn't in that camp, then Lexi, according to her, right, she's like, look, I'm here to go through the process. She was upset at Vanessa for not going through the process and not being up for the process. And so I think logically, Lexi should be like, well, this doesn't feel good, but this is the process.
I don't like that person has that much power in their hands.
I think Vanessa is, I'm just like, why are you here and what's up?
I agree.
I realized I was not the biggest fan of Vanessa right when I met her, day one. Like, Vanessa starts like hitting on my ex in front of me. So I was like, all right, you're that girl.
Okay, we're hearing from Yali what she was observing, and so she has a bone to pick with Vanessa. But I don't know, even that description, that's the show, right? Now maybe if Vanessa was doing it vindictively, like she was trying to rub it in Yali's face or something, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
I don't fully trust her or her intentions. She just seems to be into herself and making everything about herself. It's as simple as that. If that's where her mindset is at,
That scares me.
she's like a narcissist. The Jason Sandler, who felt a lot more like.
See, there's that word. And I've talked about that before. And I wish that people would just use a term like self-centered, or they think they're superior. If you ever use that word, narcissist, or if you hear someone using that word, I recommend clarifying. So are we talking about self-centered? Are we talking about someone that thinks they're superior to other people? Are we talking about someone that brags a lot? I mean, sometimes people will say narcissist for someone that is a psychopath, someone that will actually be a con artist, someone who actually is out to prey on other people. Those people do exist, but in my world, we would call those people antisocial or psychopathic personality. Narcissistic people will sometimes exhibit things like that, and there's a narcissism to psychopathy, usually. But I think what Yali is referring to with Vanessa is that Vanessa is into herself and that she is self-centered and that she thinks that she's better than other people or something. I think that's what she's saying.
Would love a rundown. How are you doing? Who are you connecting with? I don't even know who you've been going on dates with.
I think you're gonna be like pretty surprised, but like, it's Yoli.
Fuck! Really?
Yeah. So, like, I think
So they edited that, kind of interesting. Xander is just answering the question, saying, yeah, I think I'm connecting with Yoli. And then Vanessa does this, like, was that edited in? I just don't, this is why they shouldn't be lying. The editors, when they did it during season 4 of Love is Blind, they seemingly lied straight to our faces by switching those scenes around. And we can use this as a jumping off point, which I've done before, which is that when you're in a relationship, a romantic relationship, and someone lies to you, even if it's a small thing, it throws everything into question. And this is why you don't lie. This is what you're told when you're 4 years old and your parents are trying to break you of the lying behavior. They'll say, look, the lie is bad, but what it does is it makes us question everything that you say. And I don't want to do that. I want to believe you when you talk. So it's better to admit that you did something so that I can trust the other things that you say. And that's how we treat, it's one of the tactics of helping kids to realize the value of telling the truth, even when it hurts to tell the truth, even when it's potentially going to get you in trouble to tell the truth, right? It's better to face that music than the music later on, which is that no one believes anything that you say. And so when the show actually proves that they can, and we've understood from the beginning that they will massage the truth in various different ways, but not that bad, right? Especially the amount of care that seemingly went in to absolutely manufacturing what was coming out of their mouth to appear that way. And the reason why we suspect that it was lying that the show was doing to us is because both the individuals involved were saying no, including Marshall, who has a reason to not say this, right? That he's like, no, that was edited funny. And so now when we see this with Vanessa, you just have to wonder, because of course the show wants to have their Micah, their Irina, right? Because that's what gets people going. And we just can't know, because rewind that and we'll see if we can absolutely tell if it did happen in that sequence.
I would love a rundown. How are you doing? Who are you connecting with? I don't even know who you've been going on dates with.
I think you're gonna be like pretty surprised, but like, it's Yoli.
Okay, so the way that they edit this, it looks like she says that and then she goes, ugh. But that could have been at a completely different time in the conversation where she just didn't like what she was drinking. That might even be the interpretation that we would have here, because she's looking at the glass. She's not like, ugh, Yoli. She's looking at the glass. So we can't know. It kind of looks that way, right? Doesn't it look like it was inserted strategically, or coincidentally she just had a bad glass of wine? I don't know. But if the rest of the conversation is in that direction, maybe even the edit, even if it was a lie, still shows that Vanessa is going to be a jerk face in this moment. So let's watch.
Yeah, please explain that.
Yeah. So like, I think that, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely like getting confused. I think Yoli is a lot similar to you, to be honest. Like, I don't know that you guys are going to be friends in this experience, but like, I think that you guys are pretty similar.
Well, that's interesting. So Xander knows these individuals way better than we would, a lot more contact, right? And according to Xander, Yoli and Vanessa are very similar. But Xander's also saying, I don't think you'll be friends. So, and they're not. We've seen, at least from the Yoli side, that Yoli really does not like Vanessa at all.
Yeah. How are you okay?
Yeah, she's just not very nice to me. Like a fucking idiot.
Why? You should not. I don't want you to feel that way.
I think I want to walk away. That's okay.
Okay, just this is a rare, vulnerable moment that we've seen from Vanessa, and this lends itself to some of the things I've said thus far and provides some humanity. We'll see how Vanessa reacts here, but right. So Vanessa is saying, who are you connecting to? And Xander's like, I've connected with someone, Yoli. And for Vanessa, she is now having, and maybe intellectually she understood that this was going to happen, but to have it right in front of her face to realize, oh my God, so the person I love. Now, Xander was the one, I'm going to look at my notes, was the one that gave the ultimatum, right, to Vanessa. But regardless, Vanessa, I think it's tempting to watch this show and think of, since Xander gave the ultimatum, to look at Xander as the good person and Vanessa as the jerk for not agreeing to get married or something. I think we have that cultural bias. I think another simplistic point of view is that Xander, given the ultimatum, was very into Vanessa, but Vanessa wasn't into Xander, was just stringing Xander along. And certainly that could be true, but on average, that's not likely. The Vanessas of the world were absolutely into Xander, just not wanting to get married, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So to remind ourselves, I guess I'm reminding myself of that bias that I have. And so I have to remind myself, okay, Vanessa is very much in love with Xander, has spent 4 years with Xander. And for Vanessa, she is now seeing the person that she loves dearly, Xander, saying that she's connecting with someone else. And so that is hurtful. And so she is now crying because of that. Makes sense.
I don't want you to do that.
I think we shouldn't have talked.
And this lends itself kind of to some of the hypotheses I have about Vanessa. Vanessa's behavior is the most displayed to us. There's been a lot of things happening. Obviously, they've been together for a week-ish, but we've seen a lot of Vanessa because I think the show knows that Vanessa is giving us the most to react to emotionally. And so we have some more to go off of with Vanessa than the others, but not a lot to go off of. And I've been wondering about the possible schemas and emotional turmoil that Vanessa is experiencing and the relational traumas. And on the short list of hypotheses thus far, again, based on almost no information and completely speculative, is that for her, Vanessa, she was neglected early in life emotionally on some level, felt that way anyway, and developed a defensive structure of appearing or convincing herself that she is above it all, that she doesn't care, that she doesn't need other people, and denying her own vulnerability, denying her own needs. And what'll happen is that you can come across like you don't love other people, that you don't need other people. And then when other people finally take that move to actually reject them, then all of that pain becomes so overwhelming they can't hide it anymore. So it has that look to it, right? And the way that she's crying, it comes across, it's totally normal that she would cry, but the way she's crying, it comes across like it's uncontrollable. And she's even saying like, I need to get out of here. There's a bit of a panic in that. Let's rewatch that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, she's just not very nice to me. Like a fucking idiot.
Why?
I'm an effing idiot. Because what everyone is accusing her of, not everyone, but some, is that she's a narcissist, right? That she's selfish, she's into herself, she thinks she's superior. She has a grandiose sense of self. And that what she said is an opposite of that, right? And that is usually the case with self-superiority, self-centeredness. That is pathological and a defense, is that it's a defense against feeling like you're worthless. And so now that overwhelming feeling is getting triggered, she doesn't have the ability to cover it up even to herself and to the world. And so it's coming through, right? I'm humiliated. I'm nothing. Who am I? And then when we watch this progress with her crying, it looks like it's uncomfortable for her, and it looks like it's intense, right? That she just went boom, right? And that lends itself to that hypothesis.
You should not. I don't want you to feel that way.
I think I want to walk away. That's okay.
And we don't know, but that I want to walk away, you could imagine that she's thinking she's normally able to defend herself and others from realizing what's going on down there. And she's panicking right now. She's, I don't know what to do. She might even be triggered on the traumas that she went through. There can be an echo of that trauma of being abandoned, like a parent that left her or something. And so this seems visceral to her. Other people have cried thus far, and they might be intensely sad or worried or something, but this has an element of panic to it, which lends itself to the trauma hypothesis.
I don't want you to do that.
I think we shouldn't have talked.
And then that statement, and I'm probably just looking for data to support my ideas here, but that statement could be in that direction where she's like, I wish we hadn't talked, because that now that we have, it's actually making it so that I have to face something deep inside of me that I cannot face, and I'm not used to facing, and I don't want to face. Maybe I just should have acted like everything was fine. And it's sort of interesting when she sat down with Xander, her partner, in the beginning, she seemed like, I don't even know who you've talked to. She had this very, very curious and matter-of-fact way of asking, as if everything was fine in terms of how Xander would answer. And then Xander proceeds to answer the question. There also seems to be some indication from Xander that Xander knows this version of Vanessa and is concerned about that and isn't surprised by that. All right, well, that is it for that episode. I want to remind everyone that when I react to this, it's completely speculative based on only the information that I see here. If I were to properly assess these individuals, I'm guessing I would find something different, or at least a lot more depth to the speculations and the conceptualizations, the formulations. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself, because you deserve it. You really, really do.